Hello, thank you for clicking this video. My name is Janet, but I'm more comfortable to be called Jaja. I'm 29 years old from the Philippines. Last August 2, I took my IELTS test. Actually, I took my speaking test last August 1, then for the rest of the parts, it was last August 2. In all honesty, until now, I can't believe how was I able to achieve the Speaking Band Score 9.0. But probably because I tried my best to follow all the important aspects that I must include in my answers. So let's talk about first the things that you should not worry about during the speaking test. Don't worry about the eye contact. So you really don't have to make an eye contact with the examiner. Also, just ignore if he or she is being unfriendly or amiable because it cannot affect your score. Also, about your hand gestures or body gestures, it's okay. And whether the examiner agrees or disagrees with your answer, it will not affect your score. Then for part one, you just have to keep in mind that you need to make your answer concise and simple. However, if you can add common idioms or some discourse markers, it's also okay. Also, don't forget to say yes or no when necessary. Let's say the question begins with do you? You must say first yes I do or no I don't. And also make sure to answer in a full sentence. Then for part 2, I have a rule to myself and even I suggest to my students to use at least 3 idioms, 3 less common vocabulary, and 3 discourse markers. Some of my students are confused between less common vocabulary and idioms. So I'll be giving you an example for an idiom. Let's say over the moon. Over the moon means very happy. However, blissful means very happy too. Blissful is a less common vocabulary. Over the moon is an idiom. Also, another confusion that I notice with my students between connectives and discourse markers. So those two are what we call linking words. Connectives examples are but, and, or, because. Then discourse markers are however, furthermore, as a matter of fact, in fact, nevertheless. Those are discourse markers. Then also make sure to cover all the bullet points in part 2. You don't have to change your accent. As you can notice, I don't have a native accent. I'm just using my own, or what I call neutral accent. For me, it's already neutral, but other people in ESL groups in Facebook told me that I'm trying my best to sound like a native, so it doesn't sound unnatural. But then again, I don't mind them all because I can proudly tell to anyone that I was able to get speaking band score 9.0. Yes, which is the highest for speaking band score. So I'm really proud of it. Then what else? Yes, so you just have to make sure to pronounce each word clearly because the whole speaking exam is being recorded. Then proceeding to part 3, the most important aspect that I can say is the answer structure. Actually, there are 4 types of answer structure. The first would be you need to give the direct answer, reasons at least 2, and at least 1 example. Direct answer is like you need to say yes or no. You need to say yes or no. Yes. Then the second type of structure would be you will give different reasons. For example, you will begin your statement with, there are tons of reasons that I can tell you. Firstly, blah, blah, blah. Secondly, blah, blah, blah. Finally, blah, blah, blah. Then for the third structure would be, it depends. It depends. On the one hand, on the other hand, for example. Then on the other hand, or on the flip side, so that I won't repeat the same phrases again. Mm, okay, for the fourth structure, so you will say it's a mixture of both things on the one side, on the other side. Then for the example, it's up to you. If you will begin with the statement, it's a mixture of both things, it's not really necessarily needed to add an example. But if you will begin with it depends on, it's best if you will give an example. So those are the only things. And also, please don't forget to use at least three idioms, three less common vocabulary, and three discourse markers for part two. Not for each question, but just for the whole part. Nevertheless, you can get a higher chance. You can have a higher chance to get a higher score if you can use more than three. But then again, to avoid pauses or dead air, it's best if you will just state what pops into your mind first. And also, don't forget to be sound, confident, and to give self-correction. For example, like what I usually do in this video, whenever I notice that I make a mistake, I will correct myself right away. So it can also help you to achieve better score. It can help you to achieve or surpass your target score. So thank you so much. Bye bye.